I've not sat down and filmed a video in so long. This is so weird. This was 6 months ago I sat down and like actually filmed a video. My legs are freezing. Yo. I should use my heart. I should use my heart. Hey guys, what's up? I haven't sat down and filmed a video in quite some time. I'm now out of high school. So basically in this video, I'm gonna talk about my personal high school experience I had at my high school. This is nothing, I guess, against the school. I just particularly had these experiences at this school. If you went to my high school and you're watching this video, hi. I don't mean to bash on the school. These are my personal experience that I had with this school. You'll understand when I get more into the video, but in these situations I didn't really have anyone to talk about it. Nobody really understood where I was coming from, so I think it's important for me to talk about this and get out in the world for kids who maybe have gone through something similar or maybe even the same thing as me. I have some notes on my phone because there's just so much that I want to go through that I don't have the brain capacity to hold because I have like 2 brain cells left. I'm gonna go through all of my 4 years that I experienced in high school: freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Some of these stories happen in between, so like summer, but it's crucial to the importance of the stories. Let's get on with this video. To be quite honest, I'm a little nervous for this video, not gonna lie, because I know there's some people who go to my school who watch my videos and I don't want to offend them, but at the same time, something I'm gonna say is always gonna offend someone, so can't really please everyone here. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with my freshman year. I'm going to do a little kind of backstory. I think I've explained this a couple times on my channel, maybe not. So the high school that I went to is actually rivals with another school in my district. So in my school district, there's a bunch of elementary schools, and then there's 3 middle schools in the district, and then there's 2 high schools in the district. The middle school that I went to was supposed to go to my rival school. So a good majority of all my middle school friends went to the other high school. I transferred technically to a new school because I didn't know anyone. I wasn't going to school with any of the kids that I went to. I joined my high school's cheer team my freshman year, and it started in the summer at the very end of my 8th grade year. I made JV, and I made JV I think with 4 or 5 other girls, I think. Eventually got bumped up to varsity because our team was too small, but also because a lot of us were, I guess, advancing or like learning really fast, and there just wasn't enough girls, so it was just better to have one big team. So during the 3 months before freshman year of high school, it was kind of difficult, not gonna lie. I was at cheer practice for like 3 or 4 hours a day, every single day of the week, and then we had 3 days, I think in July, I want to say, where we had cheer practice, which was more up north in Michigan. I didn't really hang out with a lot of friends going into my freshman year. That summer I didn't because I was so busy. I started losing a couple friends when I went into my freshman year because we would go to school all the time, and then after school I would have about 45 minutes of my free time, and then I was doing cheer practice from like the time we got out of school to like 7 at night, and then by the time I got home, eat, shower, and then do my homework until like 2 in the morning. Freshman year my grades weren't too good at all. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy with my grades my freshman year. I could have done a lot better, but at the same time I had just transferred over. I was new to everything. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to expect or anything. My freshman year I was still in a program called LRC, which is Learning Resource Center. Basically I just have a little more difficulty learning certain subjects, so I was in LRC for extra help. I was in all of like the normal mainstream classes, but I had an LRC class to help me with like homework or like math questions that I had trouble with. And I would also take all of my tests down in LRC because I had a really hard time focusing when I was in the classroom because there were so many people around me. So I would take my tests in an alternate location, and it was kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie, being new to the school and having to leave when these people didn't know me, I didn't know them. Fast forward a couple months into freshman year, it was more towards the winter season. So if anyone does cheer, you know how we have fall season and then winter season, which is our competition season. Competition season is when all of the drama started up. There's only so many spots on the mat during each round. There's 3 rounds. I think it was like 12 girls could be on the mat at the time, and I think we had 17 or 16 girls on the team. So a lot of people were not in all the rounds, and then there was some people in all the rounds. There was drama because it was basically a competition to be on the mat. I'm not trying to bash anyone who's on the cheer team if you're watching this. I enjoyed my time on the cheer team. Competition season was kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. We would practice every single day after school for like 3 to 4 hours, and then Saturdays is when we would have our competitions, and they would usually run from like 7:30 in the morning to like 5 in the afternoon. We were there for quite some time, and we put a lot of time and effort into it. So I was one of the more new incoming girls to cheer. I'd never done it before, didn't really have any background with it whatsoever. I was the center flyer because I was so little and I was so light. I think as a new incoming freshman, first of all, and a new cheerleader, second of all, never done cheer before, it was kind of a lot for me to handle to be center flyer because a lot of the pressure was put on me during round 3 when we were doing stunts and everything, because if I didn't hit my stunts when we were in like the pyramid, I would get yelled at. It wasn't a good situation, but I know they meant the best, but it probably didn't come off as the best way that they could have handled the situation. Freshman year was also when a lot of my panic attacks started happening, and I'd never had a panic attack before. I had a lot of anxiety my freshman year, and I think it was because I was in a place where I didn't know. I was surrounded with people I didn't know that well. There would be times at cheer meets where after we got done with round 3, I would run off the mat not being able to breathe because the thought of not being able to breathe freaked me out, and then I further couldn't breathe because I had a panic attack, and it just wasn't a good situation. So freshman year wasn't too much of a shit show, right? Oh, sophomore year, it gets worse. I stopped doing cheer after my freshman year because it just wasn't good for me to do it anymore. I wasn't focusing on my grades anymore. I was just in a very bad mental mind state, and I noticed that I needed to start focusing on myself a little more. It was halfway through my summer. I had gotten some I don't want to say it's bad news because looking back at it now and like reflecting, I think it's something really good. I've never told this story on my channel before, and I'm a little nervous too. I'm going to anyways. I had just gotten back from a camping trip with my grandma. My mom had picked me up and they were like fighting a little bit. My mom and I had gotten home and she explained to me that the dad that I have now isn't my biological dad. The dad that I have now that you've maybe seen on my channel, I'm not sure if he's actually been on my channel or not. He's the dad I grew up with, and I call him my dad, not stepdad, but my biological dad is not in my life. He left my mom and I when she gave birth to me. I remember the rest of my summer being really, really rough, and I think it's the thought of someone who's supposed to raise you and be in your life for like your entire life didn't want me, and it was really rough. That started off my sophomore year kind of difficult. I got into a wrong group of friends. We didn't do drugs or really anything like that, but I just got into a very toxic friend group of people who weren't good to be around, and there was a lot of drama. I became really, really close friends with a girl. Her and I were very, very close. It was kind of to the point where we were both toxic for each other. I ended up not being friends with her towards the end of my sophomore year. So during sophomore year, I started dating. Looking back at it now, I know why it kind of started, to be honest. I think I had like a void to fill with my biological dad, and I thought that I could find my worth in high school boys. End of my sophomore year, I started realizing the group of friends I was friends with were not good for me. Basically stopped being friends with a very good majority of them. I knew putting myself through that further wasn't going to better me. I started focusing on myself all throughout the summer. I remember posting a video, my very first video, and that's when I first started my channel. One of the girls messaged me wanting to be friends again, and I had thought about it for a little bit. I realized that getting back into a friendship that was that toxic really soon wasn't good for me or her. I realized that I needed to focus more on myself before I can put part of me into someone else, whether it was relationship or friendship. And then my junior year started up. Junior year ended up being the best year I've had, one academically and two socially and like mentally. A very big turning point in my life, a very big like realization of this is what I want my life to be like, and I pushed and pushed for that. Junior year was also when I like really started up and got really invested into my YouTube channel, which I'm really happy that I did, because it's like showing that I was ready to move on and I was ready to like start something with my life. As you guys know, my friend Alex, who's been on this channel multiple times, her and I became really close junior year. Her and I had known each other since my freshman year because she did cheer as well, but we weren't as tight as friends, but we were friends. I continued to let go of very toxic people in my life junior year. I was friends with this one girl. She was very, I guess, attached to drugs. It was to the point where she was visibly looking ill. I kept trying to tell her like, hey, like, you don't look good, you don't seem right, like, you don't seem like yourself anymore. If you need help, like, I'm here, I can help you go somewhere to get help if you want it, but I don't want to surround myself with someone like that, because you are who you surround yourself with. I realized although I wanted to keep the friendship so badly, it wasn't good for me. I don't regret it. I like who I am now. I like where I'm at. There's no shame in putting yourself first. You can't give your all to someone, whether it's in a relationship or a friendship, until you're okay yourself. There would be some times when people would start up drama or come to me with drama. A lot of the time I would ignore it. I learned a lot of the time people who talk about you behind your back want your attention, and the best thing that you could do was ignore it and not listen to it, because at the end of the day, I knew who I was and I knew who I wanted to be, and their opinions and what they were saying about me didn't matter. Those who were close to me knew who I really was, and I knew who I really was. Alright, getting into senior year. Senior year was rough. I'm not gonna lie. Going into my senior year, the summer going into it, it was good. I went through a really rough breakup.
I think back to this now and it's so stupid.
I look back at it now and I'm really glad it's over, because Jesus Christ.
Okay, so most of these like in-between stories sound really stupid and kind of like, oh, teenage girl. The whole like breakup thing also had more to deal with it. It kind of like tested its own self-worth that I viewed of myself. 2 days after I got broken up with, my grandpa passed away, and then I went up to the UP for a week, so I was a mess, to say the least. Okay, bye.
And when senior year started up, I became really good friends with a girl. So her and I became really good friends really fast, and she would always be there for me, always help me. I really appreciate that. The starting of senior year was good. I had my shit together. 2 weeks later, I did not. Halfway through my senior year is when some drama kind of stirred up. This girl and I kind of stopped being friends for, I guess, multiple reasons. But around the time her and I stopped being friends, I started dating someone new. Obviously, you guys know who this is. Aiden. Hi. Aiden ended up introducing me to a very wonderful group of friends that I am lucky to call my friends. I love you guys all so much if you're watching this, first of all. Second of all, we're all doofuses. They have stuck by me for a very long time in a very short period of time, and I'm really lucky to call them my group of friends, and I'm very happy that after all of the crap I've gone through high school, that I now have like a very solid group of friends, one of the best group of people I've ever known in my entire life. And a lot of people would say that I have trust issues. You're right, but I think I have them for a good reason. I'm picky about who I let by my side, because you are who you associate with, and I don't want to surround myself with a bunch of drama-filled toxic people. And I have one final message. There is an ant on my wall. I didn't like high school. No matter how hard I had it and how difficult everything was, I'm thankful that I went through all these things and experienced them, because it exposed me to what types of people there are out in the world and the type of people I want to surround myself with. You've reached the end of the video if you've watched all this. Thank you all to who watched this to the very end. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I know I've been lacking on videos recently and everything. I'm figuring it all out. If you guys have any video suggestions that you want to see from me, leave them in the comments below, please. If you're new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're not new to my channel but you aren't subscribed, subscribe. If you want to see what I'm doing off of YouTube and on the rest of my social medias, they're linked down below in the description box and at the end of this video. As always, I love you guys all so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Where'd the ant go that's on my wall? Okay, bye.